What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Nathaniel Gaming, and today or this week, the Masterline Mastery has come out. So the Masterline rod, which is the rod that you get for doing all of the bestiary and whatnot, it has a mastery, and that mastery is to complete every other non-limited mastery. So that is basically every rod mastery that's not Astria's Serenade. So today I'm going to be ranking all of the masteries from easiest to hardest, and as well as giving you, some tips on doing them. I am almost done with my mastery. I only have these 5 on screen left, but they're like the really annoying ones. So, but I have plans on how to do them. So, yeah, and as you can see, we have the list in the top of the screen right here. The first box is going to be the name of the rod. The second is going to be the first quest. The third is going to be what you get out of the quest. And I'm only going to be naming, like, rod abilities, not, like, rewards, like boats and lanterns and stuff, because those don't help you, with the rest of the quest. Then we have the second, third, and potentially fourth quest. And then there are 5 numbers on the right side. And those are going to be from left to right the amount of time it takes, which is going to be on a scale to 25, the amount of skill it takes, which is going to be a scale to 10, the amount of resources you need, which is also on a scale to 10, the RNG that is required, which is on a scale to 5, and then the last number is a total out of 50. So now that we have this out of the way, we can start with the first rod, which is obviously the easiest rod to complete. It is just the flimsy rod. The flimsy rod literally just needs you to complete basic things. Catch 20 fish, perfect catch 8 fish, sell 20 fish. If you're doing literally anything else, you will have the mastery. Anyway, next is the Midas rod. The Midas rod is actually really easy. You just have to catch a bunch of different fish here. Catch 50 Midas fish, it can be any fish, and then the second quest being catch 25 Midas mythical or legendary. Now, we're going to see a lot of catching mythical and legendary fish, so I'm going to give you some pointers on where to find all those very early in the video. So, Statue of Sovereignty during an Aurora Borealis gives legendary fish. Inside, in Keeper's Altar, you will get the Void Wood and the Umbral Shark. Now, for the mythicals, you can try Open Ocean. There's a lot of different mythicals in there, like the Sea Pickle, but my personal favorite is the Whisker Bill, which is at Moosewood right here. As you can see, one of the quests on my left is catch 50 fish with Wisdom Rod that are 200 that are legendary or mythical. And let's say I pop Luck Potion, I pop uh, Lure Speed Potion, I pop Glitch Potion, I equip, Wisdom Rod with Immortal, and I don't know, maybe Lumlarv. And then I fish right here. I just got a Whisker Bill. So that is like really easy way of getting your mythicals needed for those quests. But most of the time it will be legendary slash mythical. So if it's legendary, I definitely prefer Statue of Sovereignty. There's also Sunstone Island with lots of Volt Fishes during Aura that are really easy to get. So those are kind of the places that I like to go. Now, Midas Rod does not take a long time at all. It does not take skill or resources or have a lot of RNG. It just takes a very short amount of time. So I put the time score as 5. Now, moving along, we have the Steady Rod. So this one might take a little bit more time than Midas, just because you can actually like determine like which one you're going for. While Midas, you're sitting in one pool. Steady, you can choose between either tackling the manta ray first or the colossal squids. Sell 50 fish, you should complete pretty much automatically just by playing the game. So yeah, selling 50 fish is not an issue, and then you get the 30 extra lure speed and the 10 extra progress speed, which will help you catch the manta rays and the colossal squids. Catching manta rays and colossal squids is not difficult at all, but it is a little bit harder than just catching normal stuff. Now, the manta rays can be found in Roslet Bay, and colossal squid. So I would not recommend you just fish in open ocean. I would recommend you wait for a colossal squid abundance, which is an abundance that just randomly spawns in the ocean at certain times, and I'll say it in chat. Now, there's a lot of these like events that I'm just gonna say you just gotta wait until it spawns. So you should do the masteries that are the grindy ones, like Midas Rod. You just fish in an area while you wait, or you do disturbance for a hunt that you're trying to spawn. And while you're waiting, whenever the colossal squids show up, you just go and get them. Yeah. So that's steady rod. Very easy. Time score of 2, skill of 2, just because it's a little bit hard to like, I don't know, catch colossal squids, and a resource of 1. I mean, you might pop 1 aura. Next is magnet rod. So the first quest you want to do, of course, is catching 75 bait crates and quality bait crates. My bad. And where are you going to do that? You're going to do that at Sunstone. Fishing in Sunstone with magnet rod and magnet basically is a 99% chance for quality bait crates. Pop open a glitch potion and you'll have that really easy. I recommend Blessed Song. That's probably the easiest uh enchant to use, but you can also do like Immortal or something, or Swift. Swift is pretty good. And then you get the extra lure speed, and with that extra lure speed, you're gonna head over to Moosewood and catch 50 bait crates. You using 50 magnets, you should, just do. Some quests are really dumb. You should just like have them completed already. I think one of the quests on some of the later rods is just like use an aura totem or something. So yeah, you might not need to worry about some of the quests. They will be like completed by themselves. Anyway, I ranked it just a 5 on time. You're just catching magnet bait crates, but there will be a little bit of RNG at Moosewood, because I remember trying to catch bait crates at Moosewood and it kept giving me common crates, and that just increased my time. So not really too threatening, but it's just something that can happen. Next, we have Wisdom Rod. So Wisdom Rod is the craftable rod, the craftable rod at Ancient Archives, and I'm pretty sure you need like what, mythical driftwood or something. So you can do that. All driftwood, by the way, can be found at Lost Jungle. So I'm gonna head over to Lost Jungle right now and show you. So all your driftwood is gonna be at Lost Jungle, and you're gonna use the mythical rod. I would not recommend appraising the driftwood. You're just gonna use your mythical rod and fish in. Hello. And fish in the Lost Jungle area here, not during an aura because it's a driftwood, it's trash. And yeah, so the only hard quest about Wisdom Rod is the catch 200 mythical or exotic fish, which will, take you a good amount of time. But again, if you just fish in Moosewood with the Whisker Bills, you shouldn't take that long. And it just requires a little bit of resources. You might pop a couple auras, but it will not take you very long at all. Essentially, it's just catching 100 fish if you have glitch potions, and the glitch potions, again, contribute to the resource score. Next is Aura Rod. So the first quest is use 3 Aura Totems. Basically, at this point, if you're trying to do Masterline, or, I mean, you just decide to do Masteries in general, Aura Totems are a staple for, just playing the game. So you should, just have them done already. Next is catch 70 aura mutated fish. Not too difficult. It's pretty self-explanatory. You most likely will catch them when you popped your 3 aura totems. Now this next one, catch 25 aura captain's goldfish. That is the hardest part of this mastery. Just because captain's goldfish are mythicals and aura rod kind of sucks, so you will use Immortal to go over to Forsaken Shores and catch those Captain's Goldfish. It just has a time of 5 and a resource of 2, just because you need to use your resources in order to get your Aura Totems to either, complete the mastery or catch the Captain's Goldfish at a reasonable pace. Next is Summit Rod. So I honestly did not know that this rod existed until I tried to do Masterline. But yeah, this rod you get at Northern Expedition, I believe, by just paying for it. And the first masteries catch 75 Icebeard or Borealis Snapper. So those are found, I believe, in Glacial Grotto, which is all the way at the top of Northern Expedition. You can use your Traveler's Whistle like this, and go to Northern Expedition, Glacial Grotto right there, and go into the little cave area to fish them up. Now they do only spawn in the winter, so a lot of the fish that they want you to catch only spawn on like, oh my god, they only spawn in like certain like times. So I also suggest, like, when you're in that time, like say it's the winter, that you prioritize the certain ones that you need to get done. So if it's the winter, you should prioritize getting Summit Rod done as soon as possible before other ones. Anyway, use an avalanche totem, so those can be bought at Northern Expedition. They're on some cliff somewhere. You can look that up. And catch 15 blighted ice anchovy. So once you complete the 75 Icebeard Shark or Borealis Snapper, you get the 25% lore speed and 5% extra mutation, and that will help you get the ice anchovies a lot easier. Just use like Glass Beetle or like some instant catcher or something at Overgrowth Cavern. Overgrowth Cavern is another one at Northern Expedition. It is right here. Overgrowth Cavern or Overgrowth Caves. All right, moving along. Oh, we reached the top. Alrighty, go up. Next is Mythical Rod. So Mythical Rod is one of the OG rods, and the first quest is just perfect catch 100 fish, and then you get the the boosts. And then the second one is just catch 70 mythical fish. Now, perfect catching fish with garbage rods is a lot, slower because you either, sacrifice Herculean or, you just have to be locked in the entire time. I just made it have a little bit extra time because perfect catching also means you can't use glitch potions. So uh it takes a lot longer to perfect catch 100 fish than to catch say 150 fish or 200 fish because you can't use glitch potions. This one just takes slightly longer and has a little bit more RNG because catching mythical fish is not guaranteed after you're done catching those 100 fish. So yeah, the mythical chance is not 100%. So yeah. Next is Sunken Rod. So, if you are doing Masterline Rod, you probably have Fabulous Rod already. And if you have Fabulous Rod already, you have better had your Sunken Rod mastery done by then. So basically, you just have to catch 100 fish with Sunken Rod, perfect catch, and catch 20 Sunken Fish, and Appraising Fish literally means nothing. This rod should be done, or this mastery should be done, because the ability that you get is 5% extra sunken rate. So you need that when you are trying to get your Scylla, when you're trying to get your, I don't know, your mutated shark, your ancient death serpent. You should have it because the devs made your life a lot easier, so might as well take it, right? All right. Anyway, this one just takes a while. It has a little bit of skill just because of the perfect catching, and a little bit of RNG because sunken, as we all know, the rate of sunken sucks. It's like 12%. All right, next is Rod of the Depths. So Rod of the Depths is actually really easy. All you have to do is catch 20 Ancient Death Serpents, and that's basically the hardest part. Catching 5 Enchant Relics literally means nothing because you're going to be fishing in the depths, and you're going to get those Enchant Relics by default. Also, the Rod of the Depths Spirit itself has a 10% chance to just give you an Enchant Relic, so that will just be done automatically. And appraising 100 Depth Serpents also means nothing because you already caught your 20 ancient depth serpents. So, the main quest is catching the 20 ancient depth serpents. So first you got to find the whirlpool, then you got to go into the depths, and so you got to wait for the what is it? Total darkness. I think that's what it's called. Total darkness event. And how do you do that? Well, you fish with Rod of the Depths or near Fox in the depths for until the absolute darkness spawns, and those ancient depth serpents are actually really easy to get. So you literally just fish them up. They're extremely easy to get. Anyway, yeah, so they're very trivial. And if you put immortal on your whatever, and you use like truffle worm or something, or whatever, I think that's shark head actually. You will get it very easily. All right, next I will catch this bluefish. All right, next is King's Rod. So King's Rod, I didn't even know had a mastery until I did this. You have to catch 8 megalodons, which actually is really easy. It's catching 8 megalodons with King's Rod is actually semi-easy if you have piercing and tryhard worms. Now I know tryhard worms are very, not ideal to get, right? Like they're in the black market, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, whoops. Now that I'm thinking about it, The resources for King's Rod. Oh, it's 5. Okay. So the resources for King's Rod is 5. So there is a lot. You need a lot more resources. You're going to need your Megalodon totems. Wow. I literally just hooked 3 blue fishes in a. Oh, okay. Anyway. You're gonna need your Megalodon totems. You're gonna need your Exalts to put piercing on your King's Rod. You're gonna need a lot of stuff. But it actually isn't that difficult. As you can see, my time is only 4. This did not take a long time because glitch potions exist. This did not take a lot of skill because piercing exists, but it did take a lot of my resources, which, doesn't matter for me, but it might matter for the average person. Catching 50 mythical or legendary fish, basically same as Wisdom Rod. Use those extra glitch potions and, go catch them. And sell 3 great white sharks and whale sharks and all that other stuff. Like, you should have that done by just default. If not, shark whistles are extremely easy to get via the aquarium. I'm gonna open my aquarium right now. My online profit is 3.32,000. I have 194,000, so it's been 6 hours. Um let's see how many shark whistles I have. I have 3. So that's already like a third of the way done if I get good RNG. But you can also use glitch potions. Always use glitch potions. Glitch potions are really easy to get in the aquarium. It's actually kind of sad. Glitch potions lost like a lot of their hard to getness, but I mean glitch potions are amazing, so just go get them. Alright, next is Abyssal Spectre. So the hardest part about this is definitely the first quest, which is catching an Abyssal Phantom Meg. The other quest, using Consumption Cons 50 times, you should be doing that already. That should be done. Use 200 crab cages. You should be doing that already to get the other rods on this list, like Trident Rod. And that should be like done by default. Now, catching the Abyssal Phantom Meg is where things get a little, iffy. So, as you can see on my ranking, the time score is a lot higher than the rest. It's an 8. Even though catching one fish is super easy, getting it to spawn, not so easy. You have to wait until the weekend. And as of recording, it is Tuesday, which means that, if you didn't have this done, well, too bad. You have to wait until the weekend. So that's why the time score is artificially high. Otherwise, it would be like, I don't know, like a 2, because you just have to use a Meg Totem in an Eclipse. Like, that's super easy. Um, and, yeah, so, the skill is only 2 because it's not a perfect catch. It's not like you need to, like, grapple with him. The resources is 2. You'll literally use, like, a Megalodon Totem, which is super easy to get, and that has an average of 12. Or not an average, a total of 12. Alright, moving along. This is going really well. I hope you find this, helpful. Alright, next is Zeus Rod. So, Zeus Rod's mastery is super easy. Well, it's not easy, it's just straightforward. So, you have to catch 300 electric shock fish, which you just fish until a pool spawns, and then you fish in that pool with the glitch potion. It's basically just catching 150 fish, but you do have to fish a little bit extra just because of the pool not, having a chance to spawn. Um, and Catching 25 Zeus Herald with Rapid Catcher, really easy with Aura. You'll literally just fish in the pool. I have nothing to say. And using 3 Zeus Storm Totems, also really easy. You buy the Zeus Storm Totems and you hop servers. Now, um, this rod basically has no like actual like challenge. You just catch 300 fish. That's basically it. So I put the time as 11 just because you just have to catch fish. It's time consuming, and the resource is just 1. I mean, yeah, you're shelling out $300,000, but like if you have Zeus rod already, that's like nothing. And rapid catchers aren't exactly expensive. Next is Heaven's Rod. Now, Heaven's Rod is a lot like Zeus Rod, in which there's not a lot of like skill. You just have to catch fish. You literally just sit there and catch fish. So, the one that for Heaven's Rod, the quest that took me the longest is catching 50 exotic fish. Now, where are you gonna do that? There's a couple places. One is open ocean, so basically, like whenever there's like hunts, like like moss lurkers or blue fishes or whatever, you just throw on your lumlog, you throw on your luck potions, you throw on your aura, and then you just get boots, blob fishes, and just stuff while you're fishing, and it's relatively common. but more often than not, you'll get a secret, like a long pike or a mustard. So, what I recommend is Terrapin Island, Cultist Sanctum on the Keys and the Cthulhids. Now, this, is not really that practical, right? When you're catching the Cthulhids, you would want to, use the rods and stuff, like Rainbow Cluster and Wicked Fang and those other rods. But it is a really easy way to farm those exotics over there. Um, but I did it in the open ocean. There's other places you can do it, but like they have like that progress speed which just takes forever. Like if you go to Castaway Cliffs, yeah, you could get them. Or I mean, I guess Carrot Garden too. In Mushgrove Swamp, there's Carrot Garden. You can get Carrot Sharks. That's also another place. So you have a lot of options. There's also like Megalodons and Krakens and stuff. I don't know if like those are appealing, but there are options. Now, I think this one just took longer than Zeus. I put it at a 12, and then I said that it takes a little bit of RNG because Heavenly is not 100%. So you're gonna be there if you hook an exotic and it's not Heavenly, you're gonna get a little mad. So yeah, just a little bit above Zeus Rod. Alrighty, Trident Rod. This one's a lot more balanced. It doesn't take a while, but you're gonna need a lot of stuff. So easy quest. Catch 200 mythical or legendary fish. We went over this with three other rods. Catch 3 sea mines. So, you just get your golden crab cages from Tidefall. You go on down to the Desolate Deep, and you pop an aura, and you go and you catch those sea mines. You're gonna need those sea mines for Spirit Binder anyway, so like you should have this one done by default. Um, and catch 25 Atlantean Captain Goldfish. So that's basically just aura or uh what is it? Or a rod, but just with a different mutation. So I said it took about the same time. The time is 8. The skill, you need a little bit of skill for catching the captain's goldfish because they're kind of annoying. And then a little bit of RNG because Atlantean is not 100%. Next is NLR. So NLR is another example like Zeus Rod, where it just takes forever. You have to perfect catch 500 fish. That's literally it. Selling 20 Scyllas, like, yeah, it could take a while, but you should have that done by default. Like, by the time you're getting all of these rods, you should have 20 Scyllas stacked up. Or you can just use Scylla totems from your aquarium to just instantly catch them. Scylla totems have become very common due to the aquarium, the daily shopkeeper, like all this other stuff that's available to the player. So the timing is 10, just catching those fish. It's time consuming, so it's a 10. Um skill needed, you need a little bit of skill to get the Scyllas, and you need a little bit of skill to perfect catch. So I put a 3. Resources a 2. You don't need very many resources at all. Scyllas, spawn naturally at a decent pace, so you don't even need that much. So yeah, that's NLR. It's very straightforward. It's just annoying. Next is Evil Pitchfork. So Evil Pitchfork has been nerfed. It used to be catch 5 evil exalted relics, which that would be horrible. But I mean there's always admin abuse, but still that would be horrible. So they changed it to catch 5 evil enchant relics, and that is a heck of a lot easier because enchant relics spawn at an increased rate in the depths. You go to the depths, you get your pitchfork on, hopefully your 4 disturbance will summon some ancient depth serpents for your rod of the depths. So evil enchant relic's not a problem. Perfect catching 100 evil fish. I mean, you will do that in preparation. No. You will perfect catch 100 evil fish by the time you're done with the third quest, which is perfect catching 3 colossal ancient dragons. Now, summoning those is not an issue. You can either do that via disturbance or with the very convenient colossal dragon spawners, totems that, are in your aquarium in the daily shop. Very easy to get and very underutilized. So the time it takes is 10. Doesn't take too long to perfect catch those colossal ancient dragons. The skill is at a 5 because, perfect catching things with the evil pitchfork, it's a little bit small, could be a little bit difficult. And the resources is just 2. It's kind of annoying to have to accumulate all the auras and the dragon totems and whatever, so it takes a little bit of resources. Oh, we reached the end of that. Let's scroll up. And perfect. We're on the next one. All right. This is Rod of the Zenith. So obviously the biggest quest for Rod of the Zenith is the what happened to my boat? Oh, okay. Well, obviously the big highlight of Rod of the Zenith is the perfect catch of Scylla. Now you all had to catch a Scylla with Rod of the Zenith to get your Onirifalks, but how do you feel about perfect catching? Well, with Herculean and Overclocked, it's actually really easy. Like my Wrath Scylla was actually perfectly caught. It's actually not that difficult. You can use Luminous Larve. There's lots of baits with above 50 resilience. Especially what the heck? Especially those black market baits like UFOs that has 77 resilience. That's a lot of resilience, and Scylla basically just like doesn't move. Or if you're too scared about that, you can try Overclocked. Overclock, bro. All right, sorry guys. Anyway, overclocked, not overclocked, cryogenic. So cryogenic, if you want to roll the dice and get the 1/5 chance that the Scylla just doesn't move, you can do that as well. Perfect catching 3 crowned anglerfish, that, takes a while, but it's not actually hard. They are at a 95, percent progress speed. So once you do perfect catch that Scylla and get that 20% extra progress speed, it should be a lot easier for you to catch those anglerfish. And now catching 100 legendary mythical, you can just do that in what is it called? Abyssal Zenith. You can just do that in Abyssal Zenith while you're trying to catch the crowned anglerfish. So not too hard, but it is very straightforward. The time it took 14, a lot longer, than the other quests, of course, because you have to perfect catch a Scylla, you have to perfect catch these things, you have to catch 100 of these. The skill is 5. I mean, catching a Scylla is not that difficult to perfect catch, but so I put some extra points in there. And then the resources, not too bad, right? You just sit in there with your ores running. Anyway, let's move along. Okay. Now, the boom ball. The boom ball is only annoying. As you can see in the stat distribution, 21 in time and like pretty much 0 in everything else except RNG because exploded is not 100%. That's literally it. The boom ball, you just catch 1,000 exploded fish. So basically, you just catch 2,000 fish with a glitch potion, or with a glitch potion, it would be 1,000. So yeah, the boom ball, there's nothing to say. It just takes forever. Thank God it was nerfed. It used to be 50,000. Now, Blade of Glorp. So, Blade of Glorp, the only hard part is perfect catching 200 fish. Once you do that, the other quest should be done by default. Catching 10 Glebus enchant relics. If you just perfect catch the 250 fish in the depths, you should, get the enchant relics by default. Or if you're trying to get the enchant relics, you should perfect catch the fish by default. You can do all of these literally at the same time, and it is only time consuming at most, with a little bit of skill, just because you actually have to consistently be perfect catching things. Remember, you can't use a glitch potion while perfect catching, so you actually do have to catch 250. Oh boy, Rod of the Forgotten Fang. Okay, so when this mastery came out, I was like, oh my god, that is gonna take forever. But glitch potions exist now, and they're easy to get, so this is actually not an issue. The only thing you have to worry about is the Phantom Megs, because those only come on the weekend. And you just use one glitch potion, catch that guy, and suddenly you have a top tier rod. Now, catching 20 Megalodons, again, not too hard. Megalodon totems are really easy to get, and if, you don't have some for some reason, there's many, many people that will either summon one for you, or you could just fish an Ancient Isle with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang for that disturbance for them to come. Ancient Megalodon is a different story, but you can actually catch all Megalodon variants in every pool. So if you can't summon an Ancient Megalodon for whatever reason, then literally just spawn in a Megalodon pool and then just keep fishing until you get an ancient megalodon. You don't even have to catch the megalodon once you hook it. You can just let it go. So it just takes a while. So 14 for the time it takes. Skill is just a 5, I guess. Like catching megalodon's not that hard, but we're out of the Forgotten Fang doesn't have piercing. But if you do add the piercing, it will mitigate a lot of that. But yeah, very easy. Or not not easy. We're actually getting a little bit harder. These are getting a little bit more difficult. So next is the Ruinous Oath. So the big issue about Ruinous Oath, in my opinion, is the first quest. The other two quests are kind of just even though they look intimidating, they're not actually that scary. The first quest is catch 1,000 mastered fish. So basically, you just have to catch 500 fish with a glitch potion. Perfect catch. Ruinous Oath is probably one of the best rods in the game, so this is not too difficult. But it is very, very time consuming. Now, catch 5 apex fish, you will do this by default. Like, whenever a moss lurker spawns, just go catch them. Like, come on. Now, it's not even perfect catch. This one looks scary. Perfect catch to Colossal Ethereal Dragon, but you gotta know that Ruinous Oath has, like, a really big, like, starting control. So if you just do Herculating Cryogenic, like, you don't even have to do anything. You just equip Shark Head and then just hope it gets frozen. It's not that like difficult. It's just RNG reliant, and also Ruinous Oath has like a 20% chance to like fill up the entire bar. So like that's just like a get out of jail free card. So yeah, Ruinous Oath's mastery is actually kind of chill. It's only just catching mastered fish that you know it just takes a while. So I put 15 for the time. It takes a little bit of skill because you have to be perfect catching. It takes a lot of resources. I mean, you have to be summoning these things. You have to be glitch potions and whatever. And then the RNG is just a 1 just for the Colossal Ethereal Dragon cryogenic. Next is Fab. So I think Fab takes about the same time as uh, Ruinous Oath. You can use a glitch potion for the first quest of it with the Colossal Ethereal Dragons. Um, but you can't use a glitch potion for the other two quests. Oh, actually, you can. You can use a glitch potion for the second quest, but you can't use a glitch potion for the third quest because it's perfect catch. So yeah, you just put blessed and glistening on your fab rod, and because fab is so broken, you can just grind the fab colossal ethereal draken. You can grind the 100 fab celestial koi starlight reaver, and you will get the 10 shiny sparkling by default. Now, resources is a 4. Um you have to have all the exalts and cosmics to go about this. You also have to be summoning auras. Now it is 15. I was a little bit drowned. Like for me, it didn't take a while because I waited for winter. Or it was conveniently winter, but I could see how this could take a lot longer just because either you don't get a colossal ethereal dragon, but I mean you can just summon one with the totems, which took away a lot of its time. I did the fab mastery before um the colossal totems were a thing, so I got it done really fast. So, but I mean, I got it down really slowly. But nowadays, I think it is really, really easy to catch any of the hunt fish that have totems, or it's not easy, but it's not as time consuming. It's very, very quick. Alrighty, so that's fab. Ooh, okay, so Duskwire. So this one's actually really like mixed because Duskwire could either take you a really long time or you would already have it done. If you did the Astrius Serenade or the Polaris Serenade quest, Duskwire you probably have already done. Like you probably have basically all of Duskwire done because you had to catch the Serene String, you had to catch the Serene Radiant Crystal, you have to catch the skeletal. No, what is it called? The brine, the thing in the brine pool. I don't remember what it's called. The spectral serpent. You had to catch the spectral serpent, and in that time, you could have been catching your chaotic fish, your perfect catching fish. You did all of that while you were doing, and if you didn't, well, you probably should have. So basically, when I decided to do this mastery, I was basically already done with all of it. And also, they nerfed it in this update. They nerfed it in the Masterline Mastery update, so you only have to catch 40 serene fish instead of 100, which I did catch 100. Uh, and I think that's what they nerfed. And you can do glitch potions for the serene if you get everything else done and not the serene. Next is Spearbinder. Spearbinder's just annoying. The most annoying quest is perfect catch 1,000 fish, which is just stupid. So yeah, Spearbinder basically no challenge at all. Catching exotic fish doesn't mean anything because Spearbinder got a new ability, or it got buffed, where like it has a 5% chance to hook the best thing in the pool. So if you just fish in the ocean or wherever there's a exotic like treble bass, that's probably the best example. If you just sit there, you'll hook treble basses and you'll get the 100 exotic fish by default by the time you're done perfect catching. And if not, you can just pop a glitch potion and the perfect catches won't go up by 2, but the exotics will go up by 2. Catch 500 spearfish, you will literally just get this done by default. Because you have to perfect catch 1,000 fish. You will probably mess up on a perfect catch, which just means more opportunity to complete the other quest. So as you can see, the time it took is just a 23. Very, very chill. Rod, but it's just time consuming. Next is Seraphic, which I didn't think took as long as Spirit Binder, but I did spread it out a lot. So probably the longest part about Seraphic is the perfect catching 20 Moss Lurkers. But like, if you are grinding the other masteries and you just happen to see a Moss Lurker because they spawn all the time and just catch like maybe 1 or 2 of them whenever they spawn, then you'll get the Seraphic Moss Lurker quest done really quickly. Like you just say, oh, there's a Moss Lurker, let's just go catch them. This quest will go by in a breeze. Perfect catching 1,000 fish is not as bad as Spirit Binder because Seraphic basically like catches fish really quickly. And then catching 1,000 blessed fish, if you're having trouble, just use a glitch potion while you're perfect catching the fish. Oh, and that's the end of that. Let's continue to scroll down. All right. Next is Dreambreaker. So you might be wondering, why is Dreambreaker take shorter than Seraphic? You have to summon a profane. You have to summon a normal Leviathan. That takes like forever. And the reason is that Leviathans can now spawn normally. So Leviathans can be like summoned with 100,000 disturbance and are not impacted by other disturbance basically. There was a recent buff from the Shamrock Leviathan update, so now profane and normal Leviathans can literally just spawn naturally. And that is a big deal because while you're doing the other masteries, if you just happen to see a profane, well, that goes like 5 hours that you had to spend trying to get a profane, you just go catch it. Now, the profane doesn't actually have to be distraught, which is another good win. So you just cast the profane whenever it comes. Distraught Leviathans, like Leviathans are not that hard to hook. They are not that hard to catch because you are using Luminous Larva, which is their preferred bait, which basically makes them paralyzed. So it's really not that difficult to catch the Leviathans. It just takes a while. But I did put the skill as a 7. Dreambreaker can be a little, crazy at times. But the quest that took me longer is perfect catching 50 exotic fish. I did it at Sunstone, but you should just do it in the cult layer with the keys and the Cthulhu's. Like, just do that. That's a lot smarter. So yeah, this one has a lot of RNG in it. I don't know why I didn't put any RNG points into it, but I guess because it's really not RNG because you just summon Leviathans or you go on your merry way until a Leviathan will spawn. So next is EPR, Ethereal Prism Rod. So the biggest issue with EPR, I actually found out, and I had my opinion changed on this. The hardest part about Ethereal Prism is perfect catching 250 Prismarized fish. Surprisingly, it was not perfect catching 20 Prismarized Crystallized Sea Dragons, but that is only because I was doing it smart. The Crystallized Sea Dragons, they prefer the spring. So, whenever it was springtime, I would just, hop off whatever Rod Mastery I was doing and then go straight to the Calm Zone and do it quickly. If you try to catch this dragon anytime other than the spring, you're going to have a really, really bad time. And let me tell you, all season potion is not gonna solve it because these guys have like a negative spawn rate, bro. Like they like don't spawn. So do it in the spring. It'll trust me, you will get this quest done before you perfect catch 250 prismarized fish. And yeah, make sure you're catching the other fish too, because you also have to sell 350 of them. Okay. This one is probably the most like controversial one. Rod of the Exalted One. This one requires no skill at all. You sit on Moosewood Dock with Scavenger and you wait until you hook that Exalted Relic. As you can see, that is one of the quests I have not done, and I have given up because I'm gonna wait until admin abuse. Now, If you didn't know, normally during admin abuse, they run like lucky relics, which basically means you can just fish exalted relics like super easy with like 10%. I know this is like scuffed and like, like, oh, I may not be awake for admin abuse, or I have work, or I have a job. Well, don't worry, I maxed out the time as 25. Or else, if I was factoring in admin abuse, it would probably be like a 5. But no, this, if for people that can't join admin abuse, this rod is going to take a while. Make sure you're using a glitch potion. Use a glitch potion. You do not want to catch 10 exalted relics like normally. You only want to catch 5. And as you can see, I caught 4 out of 10. I caught 2 naturally, and then I gave up. And I remembered that admin abuse existed. With Scavenger, do note that catching an exalted relic is like 1 in like 250 or something. Oh, 280. I think it's 280. Alright, so yeah, this rod sucks. Or the mastery sucks. Alright, Destiny Rod. Destiny Rod I actually just finished, like, before recording this video. And it's Tuesday, so it took me from Saturday to Tuesday to finish Destiny Rod. That's a while. And the hardest part is, of course, catching 100 shiny sparkling fish. Why is that a thing? I do not know, but I used a glitch potion and I did AFK it. I'm sorry. I did AFK it. My Destiny Rod, I'll show you, has Herculean on it. I did AFK it. And, if you see here, it is, wide enough to have AFK. Now, if you're not AFKing this, you are not going to have a lot of fun. You will need to summon in either rainbows, you will need to enchant it with Blessed and Glittered, you need to have, your Knight of the Luminous or Shiny Surge. It's going to cost you a lot of resources, and that's why the resource is at 8. RNG is, of course, a 5. Like, Shiny Sparkling is just a straight RNG fest, and the time it takes is super long. So that's why it's at 25. Now we're getting to some of the really, really, like, long rods. I think we're almost done. There's only, like, 5 more rods on this list. Next is Tryhard. So, Tryhard literally just takes time. If you didn't do the perfect catch thing with Tryhard, like, before it got nerfed, you're kinda cooked. Like, it will take you a lot longer than the rest of everyone else to get it done. But luckily for me, I did the perfect catching thing before Tryhard got nerfed. Or reworked, I guess. Now you're like, catching 5,000 fish, that sucks. Like, the fish moves hella fast, and, like, catching 5,000 fish in general just sucks. But, you can fish here in the clam abundance. I'm gonna catch this clam. I'm gonna catch this clam. I suck. Okay. Yeah, okay, so see here, it's at a flat number. Oh, wait, let me turn on glitch potion. It's a flat number, 2,600. I'm gonna catch a clam. And it went up to 2604. So you can fish in the clam abundance to basically cut your fishing into fourths. Basically, you only have to catch 1,250 fish, which, in my opinion, is a lot better than 5,000. Selling 10,000 fish literally is not an issue. You probably have sold way more than that in your fishing career. Perfect catching 30 fish, in my opinion, is probably going to be the hardest one for a lot of people just because of the tryhard nerf. You can get a little bit lucky with your cryogenic. I have cryogenic on mine, but this one is definitely going to take a while for most people. But if you do have this one done, you knocked out a really hard one really quickly or earlier. All right, we're moving on to the last couple ones. And you can see this one is huge. It's Pinion's area. This one takes a while. As you can see, it is at a time stat of 23, which is almost 25. So this means this is one of the longest ones you can do. It will take you a while. So, let's talk about it first. Without missing any notes, catch a harmonized wyvern. Wyverns spawn in above the clouds, and thankfully, the other quests, like, basically reward you for catching it above the clouds, and, well, there's this one quest, the 142 exotic, but we don't talk about that one. That one sucks. But, basically, you have to perfect catch this wyvern. And while you're fishing for the above the clouds like disturbance, you're gonna catch the harmonized doves along the way, and that just so happens to be another one of the quests. Catch 100 shiny harmonized dove. Oh wait, no, it's just catch What does that say? Catch 100 harmonized harmonic doves. Like, you'll do that before you catch the wyvern, or you'll catch the wyvern and then you'll just finish them off. So those ones are completed hand in hand. Catching 100 shiny harmonized fish will be done just naturally. Now, the big issue is catching 142 exotic, secret, or apex. This one kind of sucks. And the best way I've done it is basically whenever there's a moss lurker or a dreadfin or a narwhal or whatever those things are, whenever there's an apex hunt, I just pull out Pinion's area and I fish with it. With a luminous larva, the secrets become really common. There's always the apex fish. Just make sure you don't miss. As you can see, the skill stat is max. Oh, there, a wyvern just spawned. The skill stat is maxed out at a 10 because perfect catching with those notes for so long, 142 fish, it takes a while, and you will have to lock in and do it. It doesn't require a lot of resources and not too much RNG, but I mean, the only RNG really is just getting things to spawn. All right, that was the third hard. Oh, wait, I skipped one. Guys, I'm sorry. Pinion's area is a little bit harder, just a smidge bit harder than Elder Moss Ripper. This rod, people are overrating. I remember back when Elder Moss Ripper released, I saw Perfect Catch 5 Elder Moss Jaws, and I'm like, you know, they will, like, require this at some point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to slowly Perfect Catch Elder Moss Jaws whenever they spawn with Elder Moss Ripper until they require it. And guess what? They required it. So I had this quest done basically by the time this quest, the Masterline came out. But I know for a lot of people this is like pain. This is absolute pain. That's why the time I put 25. This will take you a while, but the devs have graciously blessed you with the disturbance. If you and a bunch of other friends fish in the Moss Jar Rest with Elder Moss Ripper, then you can charge up the disturbance and summon Moss Jaws for free. Which I know people aren't doing in the Discord with the private servers. Good luck with that. But I'm just saying that it's a lot easier. Now, the other quests should be done by default because Elder Moss Ripper is just such a good AFK rod that, you should have these other quests done already for the potential of the AFK. Perfect catching 150 mossy fish, AFK it. Or just do it. I mean, it's not that bad. Catching 350 legendary mythic shrouded fish, you can use a glitch potion. So, yeah. Elder Moss Ripper literally just takes time. It doesn't take anything else other than time. That's why the other stats are just mediocre. They're not, like, extremely crazy or whatever. Alright, sorry. But I do think Pinion Area take a little bit longer. Just because it just takes longer, and you need more skill. Like, the only skill you need for Elder Moss Ripper is perfect catching the Elder Moss Rippers, and, like, if you have... Elder Moss Rippers. Elder Moss Jaws. And if you have Piercing, which got buffed, then it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I know the Elder Moss Jaw can stomp, and I think I completed this mastery before he could stomp, and that could, make things a lot harder. You know what? I'm starting to think that this is harder than Pinion. There. There you go. Elder Moss Ripper is now harder than Pinion by 2 points. Alright. Now, for the final two, it should be no surprise what the final two are. Astrius Serenade and Anira Falx. Now, Astrius Serenade, let me repeat this. Astrius Serenade is not required for Masterline, but I mean, it does have Mastery, so it's on this list. So Astrius just takes a while. Like, you have to perfect catch stuff, you have to catch, like, Breeze Profane Leviathans, and you have to catch, what's it called? Secret fish, which Ancient Isle bananas. That's probably the easiest way. But actually, no, not anymore. Now the easiest way is with these hunts. You can catch like mustards and stuff. I was doing so well, and then I'm just sold. I'm just gonna let him go. You have to perfect catch 2 serene spectral serpents. Really easy. Perfect catch Breeze profane Leviathan. Not difficult, but time consuming. What is it? Shiny Spark. Perfect catch 25 Astrius fish. Not that difficult. Actually, very easy. Now, so it has a time stat of 25, which means it just takes a while. It has a skill of 9, just because you need skill to perfect catch things, maybe. Uh, resources, a 7. You know, you will need auras and stuff. And RNG of 5, because you need the breeze on the profane Leviathan, and you need the Astrius on the secret fish. Now, no surprise, the hardest mastery to complete is a Neurofalx. This, before nerf at least, and even after nerf, takes a while. Now, I did a Neurofalx. I got 50 Scyllas before it got nerfed. And then I instantly got the mastery, basically, after it got nerfed. But even after it got nerfed, catching 10,000 fish. I know a Neurofalx is cracked, but catching 10,000 fish is a pain. At least if you're not AFKing. If you're AFKing, this is honestly kind of easy. Perfect catching 15 Scyllas. That's probably the longest part. You either use cryogenic or use piercing / spooky. I recommend spooky, but no one has that, so I recommend Herculean and cryogenic. Perfect catch and appraise 500 floppies. That just, it's just time consuming. It's not hard, it's just time consuming. So, yeah. That is my list of all of the masteries ranked in order. You can scroll through. I'll put a link to this document in the description. So you can see the ranking yourself, and I hope I also provided some insight to the easiest ways to complete said masteries, as well as just ranking them. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.